So first of all, I started this in the very end of May of 2025, so woohoo! But now I'd like to talk to you about the dark side of eBay, and by dark side, I mean unexpected expenses you're gonna have. Also, my pants match my eyeshadow, if you're wondering why I have a blue shirt and yellow eyeshadow on. Anyway, I'm gonna start with some more obvious and then get into the nitty-gritty. The products. So first of all, I will say anyone who wants to try selling on eBay or any other online account, like resale, start with what you have around your house, because that's what I did, and it worked out for me. But eventually you're going to run out of stuff, or good stuff, to sell. So you have to take into account like your thrifting, your yard sales, your estate sales, and that stuff adds up. And sometimes, most of the time, you can sell it for a lot more than what you bought it for, but sometimes you're going to like break even. And if you're not breaking even, then I wouldn't even bother selling it, to be honest. Next is boxes. Right now I have a lot of huge boxes because I just moved. But most things that people order don't come in huge boxes, so I have to spend about like $30 on like a 50 set of boxes from Amazon. I could be making those up a little bit, but around there. And on top of the boxes, you need to stuff them with something. So I know they say this looks trashy, but I would suggest for the beginning just using newspapers, or nobody gets that anymore, or plastic bags, or I even had some ripped up garbage bags that I've used, and nobody's complained so far. But since then I have upgraded and bought some actual packaging materials like peanuts and bubble wrap. Also, you're gonna need labels. And let's face it, printers never work. They have one job. A phone can run a business, but a printer can't print. So a label printer, it can actually print. I bought one. They work. But don't go out and buy a label printer right away if you don't know you're going to be like serious about this. So you're going to have to pay for printer ink and paper, and you're going to have to take time cutting out with scissors like your little label that you're going to tape onto the box, which brings me to my next section. Tape. Oh my god, tape. I use so much tape. I bought a tape gun on Amazon for like $13 or $15 from my Temu haul like a long time ago that I did. I still had money left over from things that I had returned, so I actually bought new tape from them. It was like 6 rolls. I think it was like $10 or $13, something like that. But you go through tape like a mother. On top of that, eBay takes about 13% of what you make just for posting it without any ads or anything, and I'll get to that later. So when you see that you sold something for a certain amount of money, don't get too excited yet. Go into your orders and see how much you actually earned from it. Then, on top of that, you pretty much have to promote your stuff on eBay, and I feel bad for saying that, but it's worked for me and it's worked for other people. A lot of bigger eBay sellers will only promote it for like 1 or 2%, which I'll explain that in a second, but I do mine for like, it'll suggest like 12%, and I'll do 6%, or it'll suggest 11%, I'll do 5%. But basically, if you make a sale that is promoted by eBay, then they get an additional however many percent. But supposedly, hopefully, if you make the sale organically, they don't get anything. Well, except their 12 or 13% that they get for having it on their site, of course. But please promote your items. I know it sounds ridiculous to pay to promote things, but there are millions and millions and millions of things on eBay, so I would suggest promoting what you're selling, unless it's like the only one out there. And even then, it's probably so obscure that nobody's gonna find it, so promote. And right now I'm doing a deal with my dear friend David Schofer where he gave me a lot of stuff from his family to sell for them, and I'm taking 60% because I'm doing all the research, getting it cleaned up, getting it organized, posting it, promoting it, paying for all this stuff. But then obviously he's going to get some of it because it's his stuff. So if you do ever sell for someone else, then you have to think about their percent too. Oh, on top of that, if eBay calculates your shipping wrong, you might have to pay an extra $1 or $2 if your item is too heavy. But the beauty about that is, if you overcalculate your shipping, you'll get money back. I don't want to make this too long because I just started selling, like I said, back in like the very end of May 2025, and it's now August 2025, but I've done a lot better than I thought I would. So I wanted to share with you some of the expenses that go into selling on eBay, but I promise you, you can still make a profit.